Ocean City Beach Classic 2019, brought to you by BellCo Productions. My name is Jake Bell. I am the owner and founder of BellCo Productions, and we are bringing you the live stream for the first time in tournament history. We have an excellent final. But before we get to that, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, providing us with hotel discounts, food discounts, party venues, clothing for the tournament this weekend, and sponsorship for our discs. We had an awesome weekend, only one game left to go. And of course, this tournament is brought to you by Ocean City Beach Ultimate. They have been building the Ultimate scene here in the Eastern Shore for the last 10 years. They organize the tournament the 6th year in a row now. This is the biggest field we've had, the most competitive teams, and it's just been a spectacular weekend. We have an awesome final today. We have two DC teams, Grilly, which is a grit and rally throw together team for this weekend, and another DC team, Game of Throws, which has a lot of DC based players from teams like Fireball and Renegade. Fun fact about Game of Throws is they actually have more players in their 50s than they do in their 20s. So they probably have the oldest average age player in the tournament, and they are in the finals. Super impressive. I just heard the horn to start the final a minute ago, so I assume we're going to get started any second. It looks like Grilly is putting their signature aprons on, and we have Game of Throws getting ready to do their final cheer before they take the field, and we're going to bring you the entire finals here live on YouTube. And it should be a spectacular game. Okay, we are just about set to pull. Looks like we have Grilly pulling to start the finals to Game of Throws. Grilly here on the north side of the field, pulling to Game of Throws here on the south side of the field, right here by the inlet here in Ocean City, Maryland. We got probably about 15-mile-per-hour wind. A little bit of clouds, no rain in the forecast until much later today, so we should have excellent weather for the final. It is a bit windier today than it was yesterday, so let's see if in the finals that has any effect on these throwers. And we are off. Finals are underway. OCBC 2019, the 6th annual tournament. Game of Throws picks up versus Grilly. Oh, nice snag on the sideline. Back to the center on the reset. Ooh, floaty, and that's going to be a turnover on the first offense for Game of Throws. They don't do that very often. Their offense is very smooth. They rarely turn over when they receive the disc. So let's see if Grilly can get an early break. Grilly being a little patient, and then as I say it, they jack it to the end zone, and boom, Kate has the first score and the break for Grilly, 1-0. Excellent start for Grilly. Perfect backhand toss, and Kate was open by a country mile in the end zone. Looks like Game of Throws going to change up their offensive line a little bit from the first point. We'll see how they come out for the second O point. See if they can get a clean score in and keep this game tied at 1s. However, they are already down 1 break. We got a hand up for Grilly. Hammer pull. And I believe that landed in but bounced out. Yep, so it's on the goal line. Nice under, around backhand. Another in cut. And lefty forehand to the end zone. Oh, nice D. Ooh, almost D'd. And Grilly's marching again. Looking for that second break on the sideline. Back to the center. And we have a pick call. Disc is in. Oh, that forehand. I think that was down. I guess not. I guess that was picked up off the sand by Jillian. Really nice low grab. And she gets it back on the sideline, looking to the end zone, and boom. That is 2 for the price of none for Grilly. 2-0, 2 breaks. And Game of Throws find themselves in a little bit of a hole here in the first 2 points of the final. And they are right back on the line quick. I don't think Game of Throws wants to wait around. I think they want to get their first O point in the end zone here. They get right back on the line. And Grilly's getting set, getting their matchups. We got a hand up. We got a disc up. Upside down backhand. Ooh, I think that landed in and bounced out, but they're just going to take it right from the line. Nice dump back. Looking upfield for in cuts, found one. Ooh, big around forehand, and Aiden's got that in the end zone. Big target, good hands, and Game of Throws gets on the board, 2-1, down 2 breaks, but only down 1 point. We got 5 players on the line for Game of Throws. Looks like Christian's going to be taking care of the pull at this point. Down to, he passes off to his teammate. Spoke too soon. And Grilly's on the line. They're ready to go. They have a 3 women, 2 men on the field for this point. Big upside down backhand pull. And that one's out the back. Christian on the mark. Really walks it up. And big forehand right away. Oh, and Lucky's got it right outside the end zone. Swings to the corner. Looking for that score. Shannon, she'll fire it, and she does. That is a grit-to-grit connection for the quick score. And Grilly's looking sharp. 3-1. Game of Throws is going to have to bring it to beat this team. They're looking great in this final, in the first few points of this final. Looks like Grilly's about set to pull. And he's going to walk it over to the corner. It's probably smart because the wind is going on the screen. It's going from the near sideline towards the boardwalk. He's going to push that disc out of bounds. Hammer pull. And it still went out of bounds. Not enough real estate for that one. We got a pretty strong, from your screen left to right, wind out here. The Seagulls are loving it. The Discs are not loving it so much. And Game of Throws starts off with a swing. Grilly's not giving a whole lot of room to work with. Oh, good bid, but not quite close enough for Jillian on that one. And Aiden gets the in cut. Swing off the line. Big back around backhand. Oh, what a bid. Went right through his hands. I'm not sure how he caught that. Oh, just out of bounds. I couldn't tell if it dropped or it was a little too wide. Either way, it's a turnover, and now Grilly's looking for a 3rd break in the game. Grilly walks it up. Looks like Grilly's going with a bit of a side stack, and they're ISOing Kate in the middle. So I expect her to make their first cut. Oh, we have a sub. We've got a sub for Grilly. It looks like Game of Throws is going to stay with their personnel. And now we have another sub for Grilly. Not sure what's going on with the substitutions. And, yep, so we got Kate isolated in the middle. Starting it off. Nice bid, but it was reeled in by Grilly. Looking deep, but elects for the swing. Swing again. Oh, that's turf. A lot of edge on that throw. Looking to the end zone, and that is a dime ball into the end zone for the score. Game of Throws holds the offense 3-2. Still down 2 breaks, but only down 1 point. All right, we got 3-2 here in the OCBC finals. Game of Throws just put a nice forehand into the end zone for the score. About to pull to Grilly. Looks like they're just talking strategy right now. Should have a pull up any second. They've got their matchups. We got a disc in the air. We got Shannon bringing the disc up at the out of bounds pull. Wow, way up the field. Jeez Louise. Maybe a little too far. He's going to back it up a little bit. There we go. What field position for Grilly is a little too easy for them. Let's see if they can get a quick score. Oh, good bid. Nice grab. Keep it off the sand. Back to Lucky. Looks like there's a call. Maybe he had a pick in the middle of the field. Lucky's got the disc outside the end zone. To Shannon, right back, and boom, snagged in the end zone. The grit connection. Lucky to Shannon, back to Lucky for the grab in the end zone, and that is how you do it. 2 years ago, I was lucky enough to play with Kate, Lucky, and Shannon on Humiliswag here at this tournament, and they just rip. They get open easily, under, deep, resets, handles, whatever you want. Great throws. Really solid ultimate players. Looks like we're back to 3 men, 2 ladies for this point. And a low upside down backhand pull, stays in bounds, avoids the wind. Nice cut. Pick called. Looks like we reset and we're in. Nice undercut. Swings. Deep to the end zone. Oh, what a D by Grilly. Oh, we have an injury. Incredible D. Unfortunately, looks like it landed a bit awkwardly, and he might be in a bit of pain here. He's up, and he's taking a sub. Hopefully we'll see him back later on this game, but looks like maybe he's got a bit of a shoulder injury. He hit the sand pretty hard, so he's got his oven mitts. It should be good. And Grilly puts the disc back in play. Nice forehand up the side. Fakes the deep shot. Uh-oh. Getting right out of room. Nice. Toes it in. Forehand all the way across the field. Around backhand. Oh, we got a call. Maybe a travel? I don't know. Could be a travel. Yep, it was a travel call. I guess maybe on the way down, dragged the foot a bit as she was falling over. Nice around, floaty. And right back to the center. Oh, we had a Grilly receiver yelling for the disc, but Looked off. Hammer time. Oh, what a snag by Kate in the end zone. A lot of pressure. Kept her focus and brought that disc in for the score. That makes it 5-2 for Grilly here in the final. And Kate is having a great game. So that's going to be another break for Grilly, and they are pulling in the crosswind, upside down backhand. That's going to land out of bounds, unfortunately, for Grilly's defense. So Game of Throws going to get center and about 10 yards up the field to start their offense. And Game of Throws really needs to get this offense in clean. Nice first cut. Looks deep. Doesn't like it. Uh-oh. No reset. Oh, back to the center. Here we go. Looking for the backhand. Oh, just a bit too high. Aiden made a great bid. But that wind gets underneath that disc. That crosswind left to right, and it just pushed it up over his hand. Oh, here we go. Big forehand in the end zone. Oh, just overhand. And that is caught for the score by Lucky, and that is going to be another break for Grilly. 6-2 here in the final. And they are rolling. The wind is definitely having an effect on Game of Throws' ability going down the field on offense. But it seems like Grilly's got the wind dialed in on their throws, and they're keeping them inbounds, they're keeping them low, and they're getting breaks. And that pool, unfortunately, flies out of bounds. So Game of Throws will have a good starting position. And the wind is actually picking up a little bit. I feel like it's getting a little bit stronger. You can see in the background there the discraft flags are blowing pretty hard. And they get their offense started with a little high release from Christian, around, back to the middle. Working it in the middle, short passes up the field. Christian fakes the forehand. Oh, nice give go. And to the corner, and that was textbook. Really nice work by the handlers. A good stretch up to finish it. And Game of Throws gets back on the board. After a run by Grilly, nice score by Game of Throws, and we still got a ball game here. And that brings our score to 6-3 in favor of Grilly. After that nice score, Game of Throws would probably like to keep this momentum going. Maybe they want to switch the D up, put a little extra pressure somehow to get a turn. Try to get this break. And looks like at this point we're going to go with 3 women and 2 men on the line for the gender ratio. these teams have been switching it up a little bit, sometimes going 2-3, sometimes 3-2. That's also a big part of the strategy. If you can get favorable matchups with the personnel and with the gender on the field, that sometimes will change how you might set up your offense or defense. So let's see if maybe Game of Thrones is trying to get a favorable matchup by switching up their ratio. Out of bounds pull, Grilly picks it up, right up the side. Quick movement from the handlers. All the way around, back toward the center. Nothing upfield yet, a lot of swings, a lot of dumps. And another dump. And another swing, why not? Lucky's got it, there's an in cut. Ooh, almost poached. And I think we had a travel call. Man, they've been picking on Bowser with the travels today. And she taps it in. Swings to the side. Oh, what a grab right on the line. And they called him out. Spectacular grab. Unfortunately, he ran out of real estate on that one. Ooh, nice scoop. Aiden's looking. Makes a forehand. Nice inside. Good cut. And to the corner. That's a goal for Game of Thrones. And just like they needed, they got a break. 6-4. This is a great game so far. Grilly gets up early, and Game of Thrones is slowly chipping away. Only down 2 breaks at this point. If you missed the live coverage yesterday, go to the BellCo Productions YouTube videos. So once the live stream is over, click on the videos tab and check out the live games from yesterday, Saturday. We had a showcase men's and women's single gender game, which was awesome. We had a great crowd for that. We had a universe point game for the men and an absolute blowout for the women, but a lot of great plays to watch. And we had 3 other pool play games also available on YouTube. So if you didn't make it to OCBC this year, you missed the live stream, you can watch the recorded broadcast right here on this channel. And we got a pull from Game of Thrones. Ooh, I think he might have touched it. If he touched it, that's in the back of the end zone. And he did not, so that's going to be on the goal line. He would have put a finger on that. It would have been on the back of the end zone. Oh, big rip. And like we've seen so many times today, the wind gets a hold of that disc, and it goes flying out the back of the end zone. I think these throwers need to let the wind do a little more work for them today. A little less juice on those hucks. Get it to sit down the end zone, let the receiver run to it, because right now they're just boosting them out the back all the time. Oh, pick called. Looks like it was on the receiver, so I think that's going to go back. Maybe they're not sure, but if it's his defender calling a pick, that should go back. If he wasn't close enough to call it, maybe just going to catch up and let him keep the disc, and maybe that's what happened. Looking for a reset. Christian comes all the way back to the reset. Nice work. Into the center. And perhaps another pick call. Yeah, it looks like Kate called a pick. And we're about back into the action here. Looks like they have a little bit of a discussion about it. And everyone's going to have to reset to where they were when the pick occurred. And still having a discussion about it. And I think we're ready to go. And we're back in the action. Nice cut into the middle. Game of Thrones using that middle space a lot. Over to the sideline. Forehand to the end zone. And that's a goal. How about that? Game of Thrones is making a run here. And this guy with the pizza box is also making a run here. Look at him go. There's the Waldos from Baltimore. Oh! That was spectacular. And I'm glad I decided to film that guy. You gotta love it. And that brings us to 6-5. The Game of Thrones team is making a bit of a run here. 6-5, and Grilly's slowing down a bit. I think maybe getting used to the wind. They're starting to dial their throws in and get these nice flat, quick throws into the end zone instead of these big, bendy, floaty ones that the wind just takes and pushes it out of bounds. Let's see if they can get their pull in bounds here. And that is a blade of a pull. That's definitely going to be in. It's going to roll out the back. And it does. Barely roll out the back. That was smart by the Grilly offense to let that one keep rolling so they weren't trapped in their own end zone. Oh, that's high. Oh, no. And that swing goes over Shannon's head. She had no chance to get that. Almost hit the beachcombers over here. And Game of Thrones is going to have nearly a gimme of a break if they can convert this right on the goal line. Nice swing. Round forehand. And don't look now, but Game of Thrones has tied it up at 6. And Grilly's going to have to get something going here because they are bleeding breaks right now. For those of you watching live online right now, if you want to give us a shout out in the comments, please go for it. Tell us who you think's going to win. Maybe give us your prediction, final score. If you are on Instagram, and I'm sure most of you are, check out Ocean City Beach Ultimate, OC Beach Ultimate on Instagram, and follow their page. They're going to have a lot of photos and highlights up from this weekend. And if you like the live stream, check out BellCo Productions on Instagram and Facebook. That pool landed inbounds and popped out the back, so that's going to be on the goal line. 6-6 really needs this one. They got to put this one in. Nice first cut. With Lucky on the sideline. Oh, Lucky lets it rip. And once again, that left to right wind is no joke out here. You can see on the Kraken flag, it is blowing. You give that wind any edge, that disc is going for a ride and probably not where you want it to go. And that disc went out of bounds a bit early. It's going to be up here about midfield, maybe a little more. So once again, Game of Thrones with a chance to get another break. And they've already got half the field covered. Nice around backhand. Quick dump and swing. And that is a goal, I think. Chris, I'm not sure if she's in or not. Not in. Not in. Lucky's on the mark, says not in. And they're going to have to do that again. Stall count's getting a little high. Wow. Nasty forehand all across the field. A lot of experience out there. That is a laser of a forehand right on the money. And Game of Thrones is taking the lead 7-6. They gave up 3 breaks and now they're up a break. Seven, 6 for Game of Thrones. 13.5 minutes left to go in the final. I'd like to see Grilly get a clean offense here and make it a really tight game all the way down to the wire. That's what the fans want to see here in Ocean City, and that's definitely what the 2 or 3 people watching the stream right now want to see online. And that hammer is boosted out of bounds. Grilly's jogging up to line. They're going to get a little bit of yardage for that out of bounds pull, and we're in. Oh, laser to Kate in the middle, and that was down. Oh, and a turn immediately. One good turn deserves another. And it's right back to Grilly on the sideline, right in the middle again. Both teams using a lot of cuts in the middle of the field. And get a clean reset. Nice around backhand. Forehand to the end zone, floating, floating. And of course, it's Kate in the end zone with the score. She's having a great game for Grilly today. And that ties it up at 7s. Not a clean offense. Both teams had turns, but Grilly does hold, and they keep it a tie game here in the finals. And it looks like we are going to have a 3-2 ratio for this point. And the pull is up. Ooh, that's a bendy backhand. And once again, you show the bottom of the disc to the wind, and the wind will show you the out of bounds. And he's back from his excursion to find the disc behind the lifeguard chair. That's weird. I got all the way back there. And we are going to be tapping in. Game of Thrones has the disc. Oh, deep cut right away. But they go to the sideline instead. Oh, quick give and go. Forehand. Oh, no. And right off her right hand and into the sand. Grilly definitely wants this one. Looking deep. And, of course, Shannon's going to jack it. Oh, what a grab. Right on the goal line. He's working. Backhand to the end zone. And that is a goal? Or is there a call? And that's a goal. And that is a break right back for Grilly. So Grilly with nice score there. Shannon, who's never afraid to give it a ride. And a great grab right on the goal line. Good patience in the end zone. And a score. If you remember in the semifinal, Shannon had universe point, full field backhand to put them in the finals, and right there she just showed her throwing ability in the wind, on the beach, in the finals. And we have an 8-7 lead back for Grilly. It's been very back and forth. And we got a hand up for the pull. Game of Throws is taking their time, talking about their offensive strategy here. And we got a hand. Hammer time. And that lands in the back of the end zone. Great pull. Nice backhand up the sideline. Oh, Scuba in the win. Oh, lefty forehand to absolutely nobody. So that distance is going to be coming up right on the cone. Bit of a coffin corner with the crosswind. But I'm sure Grilly's up to the task. Oh, huge hammer. Oh, what a grab. Huge full field hammer. Huge layout grab in the end zone for Grilly. And that was the play of the game right there. What a run and grab. That's what the people want to see. That was incredible. That was a massive point. That gives Grilly the lead at 9-7. And we only have a few minutes left in this game. If Game of Throws is hoping to take home their first OCBC title, they got some work to do. They definitely need to clean offense here, and this crosswind is not getting any lighter. Hammer for the score, hammer for the pull. That one bounces out of bounds. It's going to be on the goal line. And Aiden's going to walk it up in the corner. That's a tough starting spot in this win. And they are losing yards in the end zone now. Nice grab. Forehand at the side. Looking to get across. Oh, hits his own player in the head. It gets macked and it gets caught. Incredible play. Oh, nice snag. Backhand up to the end zone. And that was an unbelievable score. Forehand goes off of his own teammate's head. The receiver on the sideline makes a layout grab. And among the chaos and mayhem, somehow they score. And we have a 9-8 lead for Grilly. Only 5.5 minutes left. Great offense for Game of Throws, but they have some work to do if they want to take home this title. They are down a point and pulling off to Grilly here. They definitely need to get a turn and a score sooner rather than later. Oh, that's an awesome pull right into the corner. But Lucky fields it quick up to Shannon. Oh, and there you have it. There's the first turn. Game of Throws on right away. And a turn right back. That's so unfortunate. A lot of traffic there. That was a really risky throw, and it did not pay off. And Lucky jacks it deep. And that is a score. Great toe drag on the end zone. And Grilly gets another break. Grilly holds their offense there. Not a break. They took this back from Game of Throws, and we have a 10-8 lead for Grilly. And that was huge. Grilly is rolling right now. Game of Throws, they're still in it. They can definitely win this game. They have a little bit of work to do. They need a quick, clean score here. They need to get back on the field. Get their defense, maybe throw a wrinkle in their defense to get a turn from Grilly, and then their defense needs to be a little more patient on offense when they get those turns. And we got upside down backhand pull, a little shorter, inbounds. Game with those to the center, a little give go. Ooh, nice forehand to Christian, all the way across, very smooth. Nice grab on the sideline. They desperately need this score. Nice little movement from the handlers. Christian looking up the field. Nice bid, but Aiden put his long arm on it, and that's a score. That guy is a nightmare to guard. I played against a lot of these people. They played for a club team called Fireball in DC, and I had to mark Aiden at sectionals a couple years ago, and it was an absolute nightmare. I did everything I could. I just could not stop that guy. And that makes it 10-9 in favor of Grilly here in the finals. OCBC 6th annual classic here in Ocean City, Maryland. Big shout out to our director, Alice Shikoski, Salisbury alum, brought his team all the way from Florida. Did a great job organizing and driving his team all the way up here from Florida. It was like 17 hours or something. And we have backhand pull. That should get down. But no, that wind is just relentless today. If you show the bottom of the disc of the wind, she gone. And Grilly on offense, they definitely want to hold here. Oh, that's a little floaty. And run out of real estate. Shannon tried to toe it in, but the Game of Throws defender knocked it out of bounds. And we got a call. Definitely need a reset here. The stall count's probably getting up there a little bit. And we get a reset all the way across the field. Nice throw. Right outside the end zone. Looking. Probably going to dump and reset. So, oh, we got a call. We got travel. Oh, a timeout. Ooh, the timeout in the end zone. A lot of debate about the end zone goal line timeout. Some people big favor the goal line timeout in tight games. Others not so much. Me myself, I prefer to keep the disc moving, especially when your team is already up the field. If you have people dragging behind, a timeout's a good call, but if everyone's in the end zone, I'm not a big fan of the timeout on the goal line. But Game of Throws experienced team, they really need this point. That was a quick timeout, which I like. They know what they want to do. And that's the horn, which signals the end of the round. Nice reset. Swing to the near side. Swing back. They're losing yards here. Nice around backhand. Oh, what a bid. Total sellout bid on that. He was guessing backhand. Guess wrong. Hammer. Oh, and a turnover in the end zone. If Grilly scores this, that's game over, folks. Game of Throws has to get this disc back and score, or Grilly are champs. Back to Shannon, and Shannon's never afraid to rip one down the field. Oh, Lucky gives it a ride. Oh, big bid, but man, that had some steam on it. No chance for that one. Both guys hit the ground hard, but they're both back up. And Game of Throws is going to move their stack a bit closer, which is smart. In this wind, you really can't afford to float the disc. You got to have quick shots, low, flat throws if you want to go full field. Like we said at the start of this game, Game of Throws has more players in their 50s than they do in their 20s. So if anybody's used to throwing and in any kind of condition, I put my money on Game of Throws. Trapped in the sideline. Oh, that's a forehand rip. Oh, and that's going to hit the turf. But full field ahead of him. Looks off Jillian into the middle. Hits Jillian on the reset, totally unmarked. And a forehand up the side. And Game of Throws needs to get tightened up here if they want to get this disc back. Over to the sideline. Back to the center. Ooh, it floated up, but Shannon grabs it. Back to the middle. Jillian dumps. Over to Shannon. Shannon's patient to Lucky, and I think we have a call. Not sure what the call is. I guess a pick. Lucky with the disc, only about 8 yards outside of the championship end zone. And they were in. Dumps back to Jillian. Travel. Man. They are all over Jillian for the travels in this game. And we're back in. Oh, sounds like she got a piece of it, but Lucky got her hands on it anyway. Oh, good bid. Shannon holds on to it. Around backhand. Oh! Oh, my goodness. In and out of her hands. Right in the end zone. That was game right there. And Game of Throws has one more chance. Oh, we might have an injury here. Game of Throws with another chance to get the score to force the universe. And it looks like we're bringing in some subs. Yeah, I think we had an injury sub for Game of Throws, so Grilly takes advantage and they sub someone of their own. And Game of Throws is picking up the disc on their own goal line, in the corner, in the wind. Nice end cut. Fakes the big backhand. Take me out. Nice forehand at the side. There's a deep cut. And she's going to do it. Oh, and an excellent grab. And it's in. Toe drag. Grilly calls him in. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We have a universe point in the Ocean City Beach Classic Finals 2019. We have 2 semifinals before this. One of them went to universe point, which was Grilly. So Grilly has their second universe point game in a row today in the finals. It doesn't get any better than this. The next point wins the title. And On the field for Grilly, we already have the OCBC champ from 2017, Kate, on the line. She won the title with Humiliswag in 2017. Bowser's played this tournament before. The other players, I'm not sure if they've played this tournament in the past. This is the first year for both teams. However, some of them have played on other teams in this tournament in the past. We have a 3-2 women to men ratio here on this final point. I think Grilly favors their matchups, and this is spectacular. The crowd's going nuts. We got kids up on the whale, and we have the pull here, Universe Point, and it's rolling out the back. It's going to be on the goal line. Slow walk to pick that up. Looks like Grilly is going with a side stack and Kate ISO, which they've been running a lot today for set play. And I don't blame them because Kate is a nasty cutter. They go out and in. Bowser, nice backhand. Looking for the reset to Bowser, nice snag. Forehand all up the side. Oh my goodness, and Kate cannot get her hands on it. Game of throws. Universe Point picking up on maybe about 1/3 way up the field. Flat mark. Nice shot into the center. And up the left side. Aiden with the disc around. There it is. Game of throws. Universe Point over Grilly, 2019 champs. Awesome game. What an excellent tournament. And the celebration. Well-deserved celebration by Game of Throws. A bit of heartbreak for Grilly. They had such a hot start, going up 3 breaks in the beginning of the game. But Game of Throws, they have the experience, they had the skill, they had the legs. They came back, they pushed it to Universe, and they took it away. Congratulations, Game of Throws, 2019 OCBC champions. However, I think uniform champions are really with the aprons. I love the aprons. And here comes Jason with the prizes for the champs. We got some can jam, we got some discs. Congratulations to our runners-up, Grilly from DC, and our champions, Game of Throws, also from the DC area. Huge shout out to my producer, Alan, helping out this weekend, bringing his computer so we can make this live stream happen, running the scoreboard, running the clock. Did an awesome job with every game. He was right here producing every game the entire weekend, and I can't thank Alan enough for the work he did. Big shout out to the tournament organizers and to all the teams who traveled, 28 teams this year who traveled from all over the country to make the 6th OCBC happen. Be sure to check out OC Beach Ultimate on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. We are going to be uploading all the games this weekend to the channel. That's going to do it for us here in Ocean City, Maryland. Big shout out to our sponsors, big shout out to our players, and big shout out to the people watching us at home. This is Jake Bell from BellCo Productions. We will see you in 2020.